Well, hey, great day to you all. Hope that you all woken up super grateful to be alive and get another day in this experience. And I hope that you've set that high vibe for yourself, telling yourself everything that you need to hear this morning. Primarily that you're grateful to be even breathing again another day in this experience. And then, you know, being grateful that your body can move with ease and that it can eliminate and do everything it has to do for you. And then hopefully, whatever you've ingested for yourself, you've turned that into an infusion of love for yourself. And I hope that you're transforming every day. And I hope that you're embracing change every day. And I really hope that you're getting the most out of your experience. Now, why do I say that? Because I hear so many people going through changes in their life, and we all do. Nothing stays the same. It's not supposed to. If things are staying the same in your life, well, then you better get on board with it not. Hey, Tamara, hi, Tamana, how you doing? I'm happy to see you out here. I'm just going to give some love for the week for everybody to begin their week. Lots of love to you. You know, I'm grateful to be alive again another day. No matter what I have to live. And I hope that you all can maintain that vibe for yourself. And I've heard so many people being stuck like an ostrich. And why do I mention that? Well, because I'm about to drop my new book. Yeah. And that's going to teach you to break out of your ostrich ways and step into your eagle like ways. Literally. Hopefully by the end of today, it's going to be hi, Tobi. Hi, Tamana. I'm happy to see you out here. So my new book that's going to be dropping is Your Transition from Ostrich to Eagle. Yep. Your personal journey of transformation. And it's about to drop today because I'm going to publish it today because I'm finished. And inside, it's basically, you've got a workbook. You've got over 200 questions in there and all the space to do the work. Yeah. There is no way that you will invest your time and energy into that book and not feel your own transformation. That is an intentional book that I put together for everybody's transformation so that they don't remain grounded in life. You see, the ostrich denies and avoids and stays grounded, sticks their head in the ground and just lets things be. A bird that stays grounded can't fly. Well, the eagle is an apex predator in the world. Yeah. And is confident and soars above all things and doesn't allow anything to stop it. So I'm really, really, really excited to get that book published for you all tonight because literally I'm wrapping it up. It's done. The book is done. All of the prompted self-reflection exercises in there. Yeah. I'm going to publish that in the Lulu bookstore by tonight. Why? Because I love myself and I love the world. So why wouldn't I want to see everybody else a better version of themselves? And everybody stays stuck with this self-identity. Let me talk about that today. Exactly how you see yourself is exactly how you see the world. There's a direct correlation to that. But how do you see yourself? You got to ask yourself that. Take a pen and paper. Write down who you believe yourself to be and take a look at it outside of your brain. Allow that to be processed as data, external data, and see if it sits well with you. Because half of this stuff that you believe to be real about yourself and your experience, you're unaware of. You don't even know that these are the things that are governing your ideas, your thoughts, your speech, your actions. And I'll say it again today. I don't think. Proudly, I don't think. When you think, that's like putting salt in the pot. Thinking distorts your highest potential. Yeah. When you want to do something, well, you just get up and do it. Don't think about it. It's when you start thinking about how you're going to do it and what the result of it's going to be and what you expect out of it and all of this other crap that you put into it that actually limits what you're going to get out of it, no matter what it is you're living. Your state of being is what you're creating from. Your energy. Everything is energy first before it's matter. So manifesting also too, look, guys, what does that really mean? It means when you take your clear, conscious thoughts and you project them into your reality and create them to be in your existence. Boom. Do you know that you are creating everything in your life in correlation to exactly how you see yourself? So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're not loving yourself 100%, you're definitely not going to love what you're creating, and you're definitely not going to love your results. If you don't believe in yourself and your capacities as a creator, well, then you are limiting those capacities as a creator. But what do you believe possible for you? Because it really matters and it governs everything. And you will stay stuck in a repetitive, unaware pattern until you disrupt that by taking a look at it. That's how you cancel it from being unaware. You become aware of it by taking a look at it. It's very simple to do. But while everything's running unaware in your brain, it isn't easy to do because your brain is meant to keep you safe. That's its job. So if you have any memories in there that are governing everything about you, that have tarnished you with pain, shame, blame, guilt, denial, non-acceptance, well, these are unaware patterns that you're being protected from because it remembers how it made you feel. So if you don't consciously and intentionally take a look at those unaware patterns that you're running on, they will govern your life. Literally. Guys, it's a fresh week. It's Monday. Yeah, everybody's on a holiday because of the Queen's birthday. Well, I won't get into what I think about all of that or the governance of what we are governed by today, because that is a lower density, very, very dark density. But you don't have to choose to live in any density, no matter how dense it is on this planet. This is the hardest planet to live on? Did you know that? Well, if you didn't know, now you know. This is the hardest planet to experience. Why? Because we have to experience everything that comes with it. And we have to experience the reversal of how things are supposed to be operating. Why? Well, because we have way too many believing. And that's why it exists. Too many people believing in it. Too many people putting life force into it instead of consciously creating what they want to see in their reality. because we are the projectors. It's just like a projector machine that we had in school. Okay? So the paper with whatever writing would be put on top of the glass, and it would be projected onto the screen in front of the class. Well, that paper that was put on the projection machine, on the projector, those are all of your belief systems and your core values and your morals and your hopes and your dreams and your wishes and your everything. And everything that you believe to be true about yourself is on that clear, transparent paper that you're putting on the projector. That's what governs the projection of your reality. It is not the other way around, where everything around you is you're living by, oh, well, we're just born into this density and we have to live it, and we have to live by all of the things that are going on. No. You are your own universe. You are the own magician in your life. You are the actual one scripting your life. But have you handed the pen to another? That's what you have to look at. Ms. Zenner, hi, how are you, dear? Very good. And I hope that you're feeling the love of the universe as I am today. You know, it's really important that you take a look at what you have unaware operating within your system. Because these things, these unaware patterns, they're affecting your life. Whether you believe that these are things that you've gotten over, we don't get over them until we've healed them and we've released the storage of the emotional attachment to them. Why is this so important? Well, because this is why you remember them to begin with. Okay? Literally. You only remember memories because of the emotional effect that they had on you. And that's why they're stored in your being. The minute you consciously and intentionally look at these memories that you have storing within your being, thank you. Why do we store these memories? Well, they're quick reflection points for our brain to keep us safe. You see, if we were living in our truest, purest state of unconditional love and flowing from that state all the time, knowing our full power, knowing that emotions are simply just energy moving through us because of experiences, we would allow them to flow freely through us the way that they are meant to, as just experience. Every day we close out our day. The only thing that exists is the now. Yeah. So even and all these memories, they only exist within your being because your body feels that it needs these self-reflection points to steer you away from having to live these events again. So maybe that worked for you while you were healing. Maybe the emotional storage of it worked while you were too young to protect yourself. Maybe these unaware patterns that were installed got you through your life up until now. But I can reassure you when I can tell you they are no longer relevant in your life today. And this is why it's so important to go in and correct them. Because if you don't, and you don't relieve the emotional storage attached to that, well, what's going to happen is that's going to govern the rest of your life. Everything you decide for yourself is going to be based on that traumatic experience. Because your body at the bottom of it all is saying, okay, well, these are the things that I must avoid. So what's going to happen if you have this kind of storage in your memory? Well, you're going to talk yourself out of experiencing things. You're going to talk yourself out of living up to your truest heart's desires. You're going to talk yourself out of loving yourself 100% because you're going to believe it's not safe to do that. You're going to talk yourself out of going and exploring new things and new options because that's unknown. That's a threat to your system as long as you're running from an embedded root problem of emotional storage, of banked memories that should not be there. Yeah, because our life is not supposed to be scarring to us. It's supposed to be just merely full of experiences. Yes, some harder to live than the other, but that's what climbing Jacob's ladder is all about, is going and feeling the lowest of lowest emotions, which is shame. Literally. And then working our way through all of that and transmuting and releasing and letting that be, even learning for our own being. And as we rid ourselves of all of these restrictive lower densities, and that's why they're restrictive. All of the emotional baggage that we store. Why does it restrict us from our highest potential? Because that's not the way our highest potential knows how to operate. Our highest potential of our being is the state that you're born in, which you are born in a state of unconditional love. You don't know separation. You don't have a self-identity. You just know that you have an experience that you want to joyfully live and discover and learn as much as you can. That's all you wanted to do. When you jumped into your body and you decided to have this life experience and you came into this experience, all you wanted to do was get the most out of it. And you were born into the state that you could without restriction. That's your truest, highest potential of your being. When you were figuring out how your body worked and you started to move your fingers and then you started to bring your hand to your mouth. Nobody was showing you how to do that. That was you were learning and exploring on your own without restriction or boundary or limit. When you wanted to roll over, there was nobody teaching you that. You were learning that for yourself. Yeah. And you were taking in like 6,000 new things. Important, discuss. Thank you. It is. You know, when you started to believe your name and started to believe that you couldn't do the things that you wanted to do is when you started to be restricted from your highest potential. Now, what does that truly mean? Well, our first restriction from our highest potential is the first time we're told no. That's where it begins. Yeah. Actually, when we're living in our environments, we're conformed by our environments. Literally. Before we start getting restricted. Because if we weren't in loving environments, well, we were taught that that was okay. So that's another thing you got to look at. Not just how your parents were with you, but what was the environment that you were growing up in? Without avoidance. You know, and these are the things that we don't take a look at. And we think that we've gotten so far past it that it doesn't bother us or affect us, but actually it's the underlying root of all your problems until you take a look at it and fix it. literally. How do I know that? Because I use myself as an example all the time. The lifestyle that I was born into and I grew up in, the things that I was conditioned to believe were okay and acceptable really are not. That's not my parents' fault. That's how they were raised also. But this is why it's so important to correct these generational belief systems and restrictions and boundaries from our highest potential of our being, because that's all it does. Yeah, it restricts you from your own power of your creative whatever it is. Why? Because how many times did you even bring up to your parents that you wanted to do something and they told you, no, you can't? Your truest heart's desires. What are the things as a kid that you really, really, really wanted to do, but you were told no? And you could never do them. And up until now, you haven't done them because you've forgotten about them. Well, this also installs in you that you are not worthy of receiving your truest heart's desires. But you are. And we hear all kinds of things that come to mind when we want to make decisions in our life. But that's not you talking to you. That's everything that was installed in your being talking to you, restricting you from everything and anything that your heart really wants. And as long as there's thoughts attached to it, there is restrictions to your results. Why? Because you down deeply believe that it's not okay to be who you are, primarily. And this is where the discrepancy of being authentic to yourself really stems from. And this is why my authenticity cannot be swayed, because what I've cleaned out of my being is right down to since my first breath. There's nothing in my past or in my experience that exists anymore. It doesn't. It really doesn't. There's no emotional attachments still there to them, to those memories. So therefore, they do not affect me anymore. Therefore, they do not exist anymore. Because the only way they do exist is those emotional stored memories about the experience. That's the only way that they exist still in you anyway. And no, you haven't gotten over it. Not at all. You've just forgotten about it, moved on from it, kept it moving, but you never unhooked all that baggage. And that's what it is. It's emotional baggage, and it weighs us down. And that's why it's called emotional baggage, weighing us down, because literally it weighs down your frequency and it keeps you shackled to a lower vibration, which keeps you shackled to a repetitive pattern, which keeps you shackled to the same results over and over and over and over again, no matter what. Because it's a pattern it's running automatically, and you're unaware of it. Because you've constructed yourself to believe you are who you are today. That's why. But I can reassure you that you are the farthest thing from what you think yourself to be today. Yeah. And a lot of people have said to me, Tobi, I still find it very cold. You talk about that you're a very loving person, but you're very cold in a sense that you've cut off family, you've cut off friends, you've cut off people, you're always alone. You're very conscious about who you interact with. You promote everybody else's work. You're very free with it. You're very open with it. Yes. Because I love myself 100%. Who do I believe myself to be today? I believe myself to be a vessel for the Most High, an expression of the universe and its universal love. There is no self-attached to that. Just the way when I was born, I didn't believe I was separate from it. Well, there was no reason to ever believe that I was separate from it. Well, now I am completely one with it. So no, it's not cold. But the love that I bring is unlike another. I know that. And I also know what real unconditional love is. So therefore, I also see clearly when there is another person claiming to love me, but not. I can feel that. So why do I stay attached to people, places, and things if I can feel the discrepancy of the love that I should be reciprocated? I won't. That would be a depletion of my universal love that flows through me, which is for me. Literally. That's not for another. If another person wants it, they're to do the work to remove the restrictions just as I have. It's not for me to give freely of my energy because they are not at the point that I'm at. No, I'm a spiritual way shower. I am meant to show you how to do it for yourself. I'm not supposed to do it for you. Just like nothing's ever been done for me in my life. I've had to do it. Well, this is the real work that has to be done. Not running to work and punching a clock, not paying bills, not conforming to family, friends, expectations, none of that. The real work is to dive within. And remove all of those restrictions from your highest potential. The restrictions are believing that you are an accumulation of your life experience. Well, none of it exists. The only parts that exist are the emotional baggage you choose from that to hold and store from that experience. It's not called a life experience for no reason. You're here to live a life to gain experience. You're here to process data for the Most High, literally. And you are supposed to be enhancing your experience by loving yourself completely, by following your heart and your truest heart's desires, by not thinking about any of it. Thinking has been a construct of man when the brain has a job to do for you. So allow it to do it. Self-mastery is key. Well, what's the key to self-mastery? Is unconditionally loving yourself and removing any kind of limitation that you once stored in the way of any type of emotional baggage attached to any experience you've had to live. You're supposed to look at these experiences and say, what did it teach you? And a lot of people say, oh, Tobi, that line about what did it teach you? How am I supposed to go and look at my life and everything that I've had to live when other people were doing things to me? And what was I supposed to learn? Hey, there's a lot to be learned in all of it. Believe it or not. Because what I've learned from what I've had to live from my first breath is undeniably the best that I could ever learn in this whole experience. And what did I learn? How to correct it. That's what I learned. I learned how to correct it. Stop that shit with me. Yeah, talk up for everybody who's been silenced in my lineage. Yes, bring facts to table to rewrite all of those lies that have been fed. To infuse as much love as humanly possible to my children and grandchildren. Unconditionally. The real type. How could I not want to do this work? This is the work that needed to be done in order to embody this frequency. Why does the work have to be done to embody your frequency fully? Because the universe supports you with everything that you think, say, and do. Why? Because it supports every one of your heart's desires. But what you think, say, and do distorts and pulls you away from your truest heart's desires. Factually, to keep you safe. Why? Because you've been told all your life that it was wrong to follow your heart. How is that possible? Because you were told no for the first 7 years of your life. And you were told that you must act a certain way, be a certain way, speak a certain way, express yourself a certain way, and conform to the generational belief systems, whatever was handed down and labeled to you as a self-identity that you must upkeep, with all of the expectations with everybody in your family, which led to all of the expectations of everybody in society, which led to all the expectations of all of your teachers. Well, did that ever give you a time to construct what you expected from your own self? No, it didn't. Does that construct you with self-awareness, self-acceptance of who you are? No, it doesn't. It forces you to be somebody who you genuinely are constructed to be by everybody else but your own being. This is why it's important to go in there and do the work. If you're sitting back believing all of these stories about yourself that aren't real, well, you're going to recreate all of that. Because you're a creator and you create with every breath. So all of the stuff that you're unaware of that you have stored in your being, that's running on automatically on repeat for you, is the fuel for every creative process that you have. Think about it. You may think that you got over it, but hey, if you haven't cleared it out and released it, you're still shackled to it. And it's really still infusing everything. It governs your whole life until you decide for it not to. And it doesn't matter. You can go and you can learn all the things and you can think that you've changed and whatever. And you can do the song and dance and you can go and spend thousands of dollars trying to acquire certifications and all of these things to make you feel like you've corrected. But you haven't unless you've gone in and actually released it. Because once you have literally released it, that's when you realize that you have nobody to pay for any knowledge, because all the truest wisdom is in your soul and you're connected to the power of the all-knowing, which is consciously creation of everything ever created in existence. So why are you paying anybody to teach you anything? All of the knowledge is within you. Literally. Okay. To remain unaware and unaccountable for the things going on in your own being is just unacceptable. But what made you believe it was acceptable to begin with? You know, if you're looking around and you're having bad interactions with people and you're not getting the most out of your experience and you're not feeling the results that you'd like to see, well, you need to go in and see what's running on unaware within your being. And it happens to all of us until we clean it out and we choose to operate from the heart. I know, listen, my head governed my life until I said, no fucking way. No more. Okay? You know, I have feelings that come up that my data is processed through feeling. You know, the minute you disrupt those patterns, the best way to do it is to look at them, especially when they're running in the dark and you don't know what, and you're just being who you think you are, and you're just running automatically on this program that you've have reinstalled in you that's running on repeat. So what do I mean? You get up in the morning, believe in your name, believing that you got to fill your day with stuff that's meaningful, that make you feel like you're somebody important, make you feel validated, loved, approved of, accepted, feel like you got to show up in all kinds of ways because, oh, that's just what everybody expects for you to do. Whoa. Stop all that shit. You're a frequency first. You are energy first. But what is the energy that you are embodying when you wake up in the morning? Is it the energy of all of the emotional baggage running on repeat that you're unaware of? And you think then on top of that, it's like, perfect example. You can look at a plate of food and it looks awesome, but it can be poisonous. So while you're looking in the mirror and prettying yourself up for the day, no matter male or female, because I've seen some dudes right feminine in there, more feminine in their self-care than I see women nowadays. But anyway, let's not go there. Say we did. But when you're looking at in the mirror and you're putting on your paint, what are you doing? You're creating your look that you would like to look for the world, and the image of your self-identity that you would like to be that day doesn't change all the poison that's stored in you if you got it in you. Well, I can reassure you of this. When there's no emotional poison still stored in you, you're going to be very okay with not worrying about validation from the world or acceptance from the world or being loved by another or tolerating anybody's bullshit. Why? Because you've cleared up your own bullshit. You've validated your own being. You've loved you the way you needed to be loved. And unless it's corrected, well, then you don't know your own worth and know you're not loving yourself right. You're not. You've been trained to love on condition. You've been trained to believe you need all of these outward things to make you happy, to feel successful, to feel accomplished. It's all false. It's all fictitious. You already have absolutely anything and everything that your heart could desire in the power of the all-knowing. And that fuels your soul to live every single day that you live in this experience. Well, within that power and the creative power of the whole universe, there is no boundary, there is no limit, there is no restriction, and there is no emotional baggage. Energy moves freely. And the only thing that truly exists is the now. So if you choose to run on patterns that are no longer relevant to your now, well, you have the free will to govern your life as you wish, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices, no matter who you are. I'd like to remind you guys all today that you are loved first, and the power of it, which is the power of the whole universe. It's love that keeps it all glued together. And that's why everything is always working for our highest good. It's because it's love behind it all. That's why. Now, whether you decide to take that love and allow it to destroy you, or you take that love and allow it to make you thrive, that's your own choice, but it's all love at the end of the day, no matter what you choose. Literally. So if you're not loving yourself 100%, you got some work to do. And what's that work? Well, to openly accept and validate and love yourself the same way the universe is for your experience today. How do you know you're loved? Well, because you're breathing. You can project your reality. You can move your fingers. You can move your toes. You can breathe. You can speak. You can walk. You're loved. You're in this experience. You are loved. It's as simple as that. No matter what or who or anything that you identify with, the self-identity you've created, whatever it is, you're supported in the belief of that. But you are loved through it all, no matter what. So, guys, I encourage you all to rid yourself of the emotional baggage that you choose to carry and recreate in your being. It no longer exists. It's gone. Release it to the universe as data. That's how I do it. You guys want to know how I get over hard situations? I process the data, I feel the experience, and then I release it back to the universe for data. Why? Because if I'm merely meant to live it, to experience it, to acquire learning from it, well, then I leave it to be just that. And if I want to keep learning, well, then I can't stay stuck storing any learning. So I encourage you guys all to do the same today. Don't get stuck in anything. Keep it moving. You know, when you're riding your bike, what's going to happen if you got your head looking back? You're not going to get very far before you get into a life-altering accident, eh? Well, I encourage you all just to take a mere look back to see what you've got operating as your unaware programming and release it to the universe consciously by choice, because you can do that. And, I'll mention, I'm very grateful for all of those that reached out and said, oh, Toby, you've got quite the attitude. No, I don't have an attitude. I have a force of love that comes through me unlike another. And that's why I'm a force to be reckoned with. You think the universe dibble-dallies in its perfect divine energetic flow? No. Do you think that that makes it weak? No. There is no weakness in strength. There is no weakness in love. Weakness is also a construct of man-made beliefs. And if you get real with it, you'll see. Just like a car can't run on empty, well, you can't operate and breathe without the universe's love giving you life. And the Most High granting you another day. But are you getting the most out of that? Are you operating out of your truest capacities as a divine creator to express and experience this reality? Or are you stuck, shackled to the density of it by mere choice? I want you to take a look at that today. Love yourself enough to unshackle yourself from anything that's been keeping you weighed down in your life, in interactions with people, places, and things. And I'm going to say it too. How can that was another great question. Toby, how is it that titles don't mean anything to you? Well, because these titles come about according to the love that they are supposed to bring you. But if they're not bringing you what comes with that title, the unconditional love, then they don't deserve and warrant and own that title to me. So what do I mean? Well, we allow people to mean things to us according to the title that we've been brainwashed that they carry. So growing up as a child, I was brainwashed to believe that, yes, I must love my siblings no matter how abusive they were to me. Yes, I must allow my aunts and uncles to treat me the way that they did and still love them. Yes, I was supposed to allow people to abuse me, molest me, rape me, and still love everybody. I was supposed to allow nobody to protect me or to keep me in my thriving nature. Come on. And yeah, things happen. But when you live your whole life under these governance of things and people that are supposed to mean something to you, but they don't show you anything that you mean anything to them, and you just end up to be their punching bag, and they would still rather just drain you at any cost instead of help you, and they're more knowing of their need for you than they are for you than they know you as a person. Come on. Why accept that from anybody? So no, titles don't mean a thing to me. No, they don't. Why would they? They really don't. I don't care who somebody thinks that they are in my life. They better show me who they are, which people do. And that's often all it takes for me to keep it moving. Okay. I see what it got me shackled to people and allowing them to mean more to me than me. And how does that come about? Well, if you're not staying true to your heart's desires and you're allowing your whole family govern what you're doing for you, well, then Wouldn't you say that would be very limiting to your capacities? I think so. And if your family's going to shame you and blame you and not accept you or always tell you to be quiet, what's the point of talking to them ever? I don't see a point. I don't want interactions that are going to make me feel bad. They've had enough of my life to do that. So me, I just keep it moving. Nothing means anything to me. It's all a fake reality. It is all an experience for me to process as much data as humanly possible while I'm here. And that's it. Why am I taking anything to heart? I'm not anymore because I know better. That's why I'm able to just titles. Yeah, okay. Maybe they meant something to them, but these titles to me come with something. So what do I mean? Well, siblings, they're supposed to come with an unconditional love. At the age that we're at now, your siblings aren't supposed to tear you down, avoid you, not accept you, always trying to be manipulating you, making you fearful. None of that shit. They're either loving you or they're not. All right. So in my experience, there's not too much love floating around in my family. Everybody's disconnected. Nobody stays talking to each other. Everybody's doing their own thing. All right, let them all do that. We don't get together for holidays. We don't even call each other anymore. Like, what's the point? So what, they're supposed to still have governance over the things that I think, say, and do when I'm not even, they are not even in my day-to-day reality? Come on. You know, if I wanted to allow my family and everything that I was biologically attached to ruin my life, just the thought of them alone would. Facts. And it's not that they're bad people, but how have they treated me? Disgusting, unacceptable, and not cool. So that's what I base it on. And I don't judge them. They have the free will to be who they are. And all that has been in my family is clear examples of why I need to be who I am. That's all. But I'm also grateful for that. So no, I'm not out here shaming, blaming, guilting my family for being who the fuck they are. They are who they are, and they can be who they are because that is their experience to be that. They are meant to be exactly who they are. Do I need them? No. Because when I did need them, they never were there. My family, it's like their mission is to make my life harder, not easier. None of them have made my life easier, ever. Because what comes attached with it? Oh boy. So me personally, I like to stay disconnected from all things because I'm connected to everything and everybody, but attached to nothing. You see, and this is why I can flow freely through my experiences of no matter what I have to live, because I don't stay attached. You're not supposed to stay stuck and attached to things and people, places, and experiences. No. As quick as they come is as quick as they're supposed to go by the process of elimination. You process the data and eliminate the experience. It's like you eat the food, you get the nutrients, and you shit it out. That's how the experiences are supposed to be in your life. And people are supposed to be enhancing your experience. So if people are not enhancing your experience, what is the point of having them in your experience? There is none. Well, I'm at the point in the stage of my game that I can be my own experience and I can enhance my own experience because I love me. I don't need other people. You see, and this is why people need people. Because they think that they mean so much to them. Well, everything that you're giving of your energetic bank to mean something to you is what you're taking away from you meaning something to you. Nothing's supposed to mean more to you than you do in your experience. But how many times are you putting yourself on the back burner? How many times are you putting your heart's desires on layaway? How many times are you putting a liquidation sticker on your soul to cater to everybody else's hopes and dreams and expectations of you? I don't do that. And I have no expectations from my own being. I get up, I live my experience to the fullest of what that day has to offer. Nothing but, and that's all it means. And it's as quick as it comes, as quick as it goes. And that's it. This life has no meaning except for learning. And this is where people get stuck to people, places, and things, giving it this false meaning so that they can believe that they have something meaningful in their life, but they're the ones that are supposed to be the most meaning in their life. So it's totally fucked up. Anyway, that's the way I see it. Me, I live every day to the fullest expression of it, and I will continue to be an expression of the universe. And I will come out here and I will tell you all whatever I am being, not even being, whatever is coming through me to tell you. Because I don't come out here with a script, and I don't come out here and edit anything. I don't edit my stuff because I don't need to. The only thing that I need to do is be me. That's it. And I encourage you all to do the same. Because I am authentically me, loving me, and a divine expression of the whole universe and everything in it. So you guys are all striving to have. You have everything already. Literally. But to tap into that, everything within, the key to that is to love yourself. And I'm off to enjoy my day. I love you all. Get the most out of your day. And this is why I do it. Hopefully, it disrupts your belief systems and the ways you've been operating in your life. And guys, don't miss us tonight for the United Earth Angels series, okay? Seriously, we're going to be out tonight. It will be episode 8 tonight. And, I'll mention quickly, too, before I close up, guys, CFQR 600 AM. If you want easy listening and you want some awesome sounds during your day, throw that on. And if you can't get it on your radio dial, get it on www.cfqr600.com. Okay? Guys, I encourage you all, go check out my books at lulu.com bookstore. Literally. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I need subscribers. And, I know what your highest potential is. And I know how to get you flowing from it. So if you want to assist me to do that for you, you have about 10 more days to do that before I officially go on vacation for the summer. Yeah. Because That's what I'm going to do. I've decided I won't be working at all this summer. So if you guys need some assistance, you better grab me while you can, because I'll be loving life and loving me and loving my experience gratefully. I love you all. Have a great day. Make the magic happen, because you are the magic. Yeah, I love you all. Peace.